Hello everyone. So today I've come up with a very sensitive topic which is going to be very useful for the parents who are planning for divorce. So how to handle your children who are in various age groups, including even starting from 18 months or even 6 months until your teens. So until we always say that until 18 years of age, it's not very safe to talk about the divorce. But usually, generally, the statistics say that divorce happen when your children are below 13 years of age. Most of the divorce happens. So divorce is nowadays inevitable. And most of the time, we see love marriage and an arranged marriage ending up in divorce. So how to handle your children? This is the foremost questions most of the elders and the parents of the people who have divorced are asking the people who are undergoing the divorce. What is going to happen to your children? Who is going to care for them? Have you ever thought about their future? And because of which many women and the man are hesitating to even go for the divorce. So in this case, how to handle your children starting even from 3 months to 6 months and also until your 18 years of age, that is your teenage, is what I'm going to discuss elaborately in this video. This video is going to be long, so we'll have like one or 2 to 3 parts also, maybe if sufficient. So here we are going to discuss a lot of things about divorce and how it would impact your children. It's not like, going to negativize you people to stay away from divorce. But I always, as a psychologist, would believe that sometimes when there is no other choice, it's okay to go for a divorce, because when there is a lot of domestic violence and betrayal and lot of toxic relationship, and when you're going to fight very badly and ugly in front of your children, sometimes living together is a nightmare for your children as well. And that in such instances, it's better advice that you may go for divorce. So it's not like I'm going to advise that you should stay together thinking about the negative impact it has on your children. This video is only going to focus on how it would impact your children to look for the signs of distress, because every children would definitely react in different ways according to their age groups. But when it is going to impact them in a way which is going to become like a mental disorder or something, then as a parent you should intervene and give them the help, much needed help. And even before that stage, how you could prevent your child from getting into the distress by following certain tips which you can save, by which you can save your children's mental health and to reduce the impact the divorce has on your children, also we'll be discussing in this video. And as I said earlier, by the different age group, we'll be discussing this as per the age group as well. Even from the time the child is born until 18 months is one particular group we are going to discuss on, and then from then on to 18 months to 3 years age group, and from 3 to 6 years, and 6 to 11 years, and then 11 years to until the teen. So preteens and teens. So because why I'm segregating this as per this much group is because the impact the divorce has on the age of the children is different, because children from different age group respond in a different way. The common response for the divorce of their parents would obviously be sadness, getting upset, depressed, anxious, aggression, because lot of uncertainty this divorce brings to the table. And also it can be seen as a rejection and abandonment by the children. And many parents would be wondering, what will the 6 months kid know? Now itself we could plan divorce. So many people may think about their children and their age group and the number of children they have to even plan for the divorce and all that. So this video will give you clarity about, in case when you're going to plan for a divorce, how you're going to break this news to your children, because we may assume the children may not know. They would have smelled it, and lot of poor impact it may have on their, not only on their academic achievement, definitely on their mental health, as well as by by highlighting lot of symptoms they may go through if it's not coped very well. So here we just have to see by various age group how it is going to have an impact. But before that, the parents have to ask these questions to themselves, the 3 criteria whether divorce is now necessary or not. The first question is it helpful to live together under the same roof? Because you may be facing a lot of difficulties. That's the first reason you would have even thought about divorce. The thought would have come into your head about the divorce, because living together is becoming a nightmare, or it's not even possible. So in certain cases, one of the partner may even be absent. They would have even left the family. In such cases, it's going to be like, the co-parenting may not even happen, or you have to disclose the child that one parent is not even going to be present in your life. But it's not the case in most of the cases. In most of the cases, even 2 parents are there. Maybe they're thinking about the relationship in future, but currently they are available. So co-parenting can be an option. So first criteria is that whether is it of any help if you're going to live together? Is it any possibility, or it's going to cause any harm to the child? And the next question is any kind of reconciliation possible within the family or between the couple? Is there any chance of reconciliation? The third thing is, Is the couple willing to take any marital therapy or counseling to resolve the situation, and if it is resolvable? So if the other partner is not willing and not able to change or not wanting to change, in such cases divorce would be an option. So this video is assuming that there is a divorce which is going to happen, and how you're going to break the news to your children and how you're going to help them cope with this very painful time in their life, because I'm sure definitely you all know it is going to have a lot of harmful impact on your children. So what are the do's and don'ts of the what a parent should do when they're in a process of getting divorced? I would generally say that children usually assume responsibility for their parents' divorce, especially children in the age group of 3 to 6. Starting even from that age group, the children start thinking that I am the one who is responsible, because they've not developed any higher order functioning or mental thought processes, or cognitive functions are very less only. So they're mostly egocentric or thinking about their own self. So in such cases, the children question themselves: did I not behave well? So that means my mom doesn't love me anymore. So these are some questions which are not true, but it may be lingering in their head. So these are the reactions they would come up with. Generally, I'm going to discuss the most common reactions your child would show, irrespective of the age. The one thing is they may get so fussy, they may get so clingy, they never be they're going to be like inconsolable, nobody can console them. That is a point they may even attain. So that is a one major impact. And the next thing is aggression. You could see a lot of anger and pent up anger. Some children choose to burst out, emotional burst out they have. Some children become so withdrawn, and they keep it to themselves. They're so afraid, what if the other parent think that I'm going to they may even leave me if I misbehave, or show some inappropriate behavior. So let me console my parents all the time. So especially children within the age group of 6 to 11 start behaving well to the one of the parent who is remaining with the children. I'm not talking about the custodial parent. So the other parent with whom the children is living with, they try to pacify them only with the idea that I should not lose this parent as well. So there are different reactions these children could show up. And especially the children who are in the infant age and below, let's say 2-3 years of age, they start regressing back. Those children who have come out of using the pacifier or thumb sucking, all these old behaviors, earlier behaviors would start coming back, because they are showing it shows signs of insecurity. And some children start showing up a lot of attention seeking behavior, or by showing emotional and temper tantrums and all this in a way to get your attention, that be there for me. And you would be wondering why children are reacting in all these ways. Is just because the basic needs are not met. Because as long as they are child, they are going to be dependent on you for majorly two needs, that is physical needs as well as emotional needs. So physical needs is mostly pertinent less than 8 years of age. After that, the emotional need is going to be even more important. Even the child is in their teens also. So generally, we consider teen as a time where the child goes out from their family purview and they start having their own friends, start exploring their identity. So for them, it's not going to be that hard, we might assume. It's going to be hard, but then they may have mixed emotions compared to the young childhood I'm talking about. So let's talk about an age-wise impact it is going to have, and how we are going to teach them, and teach them the effective coping skills and make this transition more smooth. And we are going to approach it in a more positive way, seeing that divorce is not always seen in a negative light. Maybe even good things can happen. Maybe you both can be a very good parent, if not a husband and man and a wife, and you can be a very co-parenting can go really well, and child can even attain a higher level of functioning because of this. Even we can focus on the positive aspects of it. But major mistakes the parents should stay away from also, I'm going to discuss in this video. That is, one important thing is using children as the bridge for communication. Most of the times parents, they stop communicating with each other, so they just want their children to communicate to the other their spouse. This is a very toxic thing you're expecting from your children. Please refrain from this, because it would affect their mental health very drastically. They lose trust in people, and they lose trust in marriage in future. And the next thing is, stay away from fighting. It's obvious, everybody knows this, but then also about bad mouthing about your partner, because the wife or a husband may get into this habit, or in order to defend their own ego, start bad mouthing about their partner, saying that what your mom does, what your father did. All this is very detrimental for your child's mental health, because the child start having trust issues in future and also cannot have a good marital relationship. Please think about your child's future. You may even feel like the other parent is toxic. Maybe your spouse is really toxic, but is it worth telling to your preschooler, is the question you need to ponder on. Because in a way, you need to defend yourself and your own sanity. You feel like talking and venting out to your children. Please don't ever do this. Don't even vent out your own pain and hurt to your children, because they don't understand and they cannot comprehend what's really happening, and they start hating the other parent. Especially in a divorced situation, you should definitely usually allow your child to have a positive attitude, and make sure that the two parents are available for you all the time. We love you all always. And coming to the question on how to break this news, how do we talk about this and how do we converse about it, it depends on different age group. Because ultimately to the 18 months you won't be able to converse. But when it comes to even starting from 3-year-old, they can understand to a certain extent. So in that case, whatever they can sense or whatever they can make meaning out of it, you're going to talk like, we both are having this mutual decision, and mama and papa are not going to live anymore, but we love you. That is a one important thing we need to stress to the children, that we love you a lot, and there is nothing like we should make them to feel that they are responsible for your divorce. Because children, as I already told you, they resort to believe that they are the ones who is responsible for this, mama and papa to separate, and all these things will be there in the head. So you just have to clarify this very explicitly. And then when it comes to communicating to your children, you need to always be aware of their age group they are in. Especially when it comes to a teen, when you're dating a partner, you can tell that, I'm going to be with this man or a woman whom I met here, and she's my close friend. I'm just going to spend some 2 hours time. That is a healthy way of communicating. But when you're going to communicate to a child who is less than 8 years of age, you could say that I'm just going to spend time with this person for 2 hours and come back. So whatever they could comprehend, that is a kind of language you should use. And the big don't is that you should stay away from talking all negative stuffs and fighting and bad mouthing, as I said earlier, because this is going to leave a harm, and this is going to cause trauma to your child. Whatever bad things which are happening between you both has to be dealt separately, and never ever involve your child in this process. And now starting from the 0 to 18 months, maybe many people, as I told earlier, would be thinking that it will not have such an impact on your children of this age. But children even less than that, months old, they can even sense the distress. Because as I told you, this is all about the unmet needs of the children. That's why we say that after 18 years, it's okay, not a big trouble. But before that, we need to really think about the child, because child is dependent on you. For what? So now the needs becomes more prominent. Once a child is not having a proper routine and not cared for in time, and if the parent's care is not consistent, let's say one of the parent is visiting overnight, and because of your negativity, definitely the child also will feel the distress, even though the memory is not going to be there. The traumatic feeling and the distress and the uneasiness will be felt in the children. And you could see the symptoms like the child crying a lot, and also being inconsolable and becoming more clingy and rehearsing to the old behaviors, as I said earlier. What can you do at this age is to definitely give the familiarity by giving, attending to the child's need on time, and give them the much needed routine, and make them to feel, that there will be definitely support from one of your parents at the least. That is very important. And once you come to the next age group, starting from 18 months to 3-year-old, here your children are toddlers. They are busy asking questions and they are busy playing.